filming from sunny London, hence the t-shirt. London has been super hot this week. I've been working lots, but unfortunately on stuff that I can't really share with you guys. Some stuff we're not allowed to talk about. But I'm getting ready to go to Italy tomorrow, and I keep getting asked, why do you never talk about yourself? Why do you not reveal secrets about you that we don't know? So I've got a list of questions that I've been given by people, and I'll answer them as honestly as I can. I'm pretty nervous about this actually, but anyway, here you go. Question number one. Name one artist you would like to work with that you haven't already. I think that one would be Chaka Khan. I absolutely adore her. I think she's my spirit animal. Okay, next question. Besides music, what would you like to do? Ooh. Travel. I really love traveling. I love culture. I love experiencing new people. I do travel a lot anyway, so just travel for my own pleasure. How old are you? A lady never reveals her age. I'm 21, guys. No, not really. Who is your biggest inspiration? I would say my brother. He's a bit of a genius, and he inspired me to get into music as a career. And also my dad. My dad has always been my biggest supporter. He just really encouraged me, and I think that kind of gave me the drive and the kind of encouragement to start doing what I'm doing. But if you're talking musically, I would say a lady called Kim Burrell. Growing up, she's a gospel artist, and actually a lot of other pop artists. Beyonce credits her as one of her inspirations, and I think she teaches her as well. She was really good friends with Whitney, and her album, the album that I heard first, was the first album that moved me to tears. Is it true that backing singers are better than the artists themselves? I don't know if I should answer this question because I might not get employed again. It depends what you define as better, because obviously everyone has a different way of singing, and every artist is not necessarily technically perfect, but they bring a vibe that is unique to them. So I don't know how you class, how I would determine what better is. Yeah, it happens that often the artist either is really insecure and is not really found their voice yet, and so you'll find that backing singers are a little bit more confident, but then it's a different role. So being in the front is different to being in the back, so I guess it depends on how you look at it, but it is true sometimes. I will say that. Why did you start the vlog? Ugh, you ain't got time. I started the vlog because I'm all about sharing information. I'm all about helping people. There's more than enough creativity to go around, and you know, I think it's important for us to be kind to one another by helping each other along. So if I can help someone with their career, or if I can tell somebody something that they didn't know already, then my objectives for starting the vlogs have been met. So hopefully you're finding this stuff helpful. If not, you can tell me to go away, but I like doing it anyway, so I'm gonna carry on. What advice would you give to yourself when you started out from where you are now? I think I would say to myself that I don't need to have all the answers, and that it's okay to be on a road to discovery. I think I was really anxious in the beginning to be, you know, the best, the go-to person without going through the process, and I realized how important the learning process is to understanding what it's like to be in the industry. So I think I would have told myself not to rush. I would also advise myself to be myself. It's easy to want to copy people because you look at their success and you wish that you had it as well, and so you feel like if they're doing something that you've got to do it as well, because that's the reason why they're successful. And I realized that the successful part of it is more you owning yourself and being confident with that. What do you miss about doing a day job? Regular paychecks. I miss holiday pay. Nah. I think I miss the normality of it in some ways, and what I mean by that is that, like, for me, the only people that really get my working life is other creatives. Whereas if you did a 9 to 5, you would explore each other's jobs, and that would be the end of it. I think, like for example, if I was a teacher, I would explain that I'm a teacher, maybe explain what I teach, and then the conversation would resume to normal topics like what's happening for you, what's going on. Not to say that doesn't happen in my life now, but it just feels different. I just miss paychecks. I think that's the only thing that I can legitimately explain without making it confusing. So for those of you who don't know, I used to work in the healthcare profession, and I left that to do music full time. Okay, next question. Do you see yourself doing this job forever? I don't know is the honest answer. I think about it and I think, yeah, I'm always going to do music, and then I think, but there's so many other things that I could do, because I like variety. I like to do different things. I want to learn new skills. But then I think about how I would feel if I wasn't doing it, and I'd be like, but I would miss it. I would miss being on stage. I would miss expressing myself and singing and stuff like that. Not to say that I would completely give it up, but I guess when you do it full time, you get to express yourself in different ways. So the honest answer is I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. Forever is a very long time. But who knows? If I do change career, you'll be the first to know. What's the weirdest thing you've been asked to do on a gig? Choreography? No, I don't. Yeah, I was asked to dress up in a Victorian costume for a Christmas thing in October, might I add. Recently, I was asked to dress up as a caterpillar and sing, which I think is quite weird, but it's creative, I guess. I've got one more question, guys. What's the most you've ever been paid for a gig? Ooh, one gig, I think maybe £1,000, which is quite a lot of money, but it was a lot of work. Upon reflection, I don't think it was a lot compared to how much I had to do for it. I think money in isolation, when you say I get paid that much money for a gig, it sounds like a lot of money, but then when you actually calculate all the hours that you put in and how much work you have to do and the sleepless nights that you have to do learning material and stuff like that, it doesn't always seem like it's worth it. But yeah, that's the most amount of money I've been paid for one gig, and that doesn't really take into consideration recordings, because I think with recordings, if you've seen last week's episode, I talked about PPL. So PPL payments happen recurringly, so I may have been paid a fee for a session, but then that fee is obviously bumped up every time I get a PPL payment for the performance of the track. So I guess for a gig, I would say £1,000, but I had to work really hard for it. That's it, guys. There are more questions, but I think I'm gonna stop there because I'm getting a bit nervous that this is gonna start getting really personal. Which is the whole point. I'm not hiding anything, guys. I just want you to make sure that you get to know me first before I start revealing my deepest, darkest secrets. But I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I will be bringing you more on the job action next week. There's lots happening, and it's festival season coming up, and there's loads of things happening, lots of people in town. So make sure you hit that subscribe button below, stay up to date with all our videos. We also post on social media every single week as well. In fact, more than that. So join us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Google+, wherever you like to hang out, we're there. But all that remains for me to say is bye.